Well, hey everybody. I'm just setting up a shipping box here to ship out a snake for my son Brandon. He's at the University of Cincinnati, and the snake is going to him today. He's going to pick it up tomorrow morning, and then he's going to pick me up at the airport tomorrow afternoon. Because I'm going over there to visit him and help him set up this snake. And I thought I'd bring you guys with me because we just fairly recently did a ball python care guide, and I thought a ball python setup video would do well. Black Box has sent him a cage, and we're going to set up a baby snake in a large cage. So a lot of people ask about that, and I'll show you how we do it. You want to see the snake? Hang on, I'll show you. Look at this beautiful little Orange Dream baby. Brandon got pick of the clutch of Damara's clutch. For those of you following, that was the one of 13 babies. There was a whole bunch of banana, a bunch of cool morphs and everything. But you know what? Just a really contrasty Orange Dream is absolutely beautiful. And that was his favorite in the clutch. It was also my mom's favorite. All right, let's go to Cincinnati. Hi there, this is Brandon. Hi. We're in Cincinnati, evidenced by that flag. We're going to do a quick unboxing of this snake, and then we have a cage to put together. So, as per usual with unboxings, I don't like unboxings. We're going to speed everything up. This is a phase pack, and the cool thing about these, they're reusable, so I'm taking this home.
So pretty.
Right?
Wow.
Super cute.
Oh man. She's so pretty.
Let's see if she peed in here. Nope, she didn't even pee in there. Cute little snaker. On a normal ball python, you'd have these all the way down the side, and then you wouldn't have much going over the top like this.
Okay.
But Orange Dream changes the pattern a little bit. All right, guys, we basically have this cage built. We're now going to get the heat going. The heat panel's up here on this side, so I'm going to place the probe like I always do, hot glue gunned on the back. There are multiple ways to place a probe. This is just my favorite way of doing it. You may do it differently. That's okay. We have this little snake out. What did you name this snake?
Her name is Nova.
Nova. It's a good name. I like it. So we just have her out, hanging out a little bit while we get the heat going. And then we're going to go to dinner, and we might finish this tomorrow because she can be in her little snake bag in the cage. She's happy and curled up in that nice dark spot. She's a hider. Baby ball pythons are totally happy in a shipping bag for a little while. So I haven't decided yet. I don't think we're going to finish it tonight, though. I think we're going to do it tomorrow. And either way, you'll be with us when we do. Hi, it's the next morning. We're going to Lowe's because there's always more stuff to get, and we're getting a little plastic tub, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we have this block of cocoa husk that we're going to rehydrate, and we're not going to use it all, so we're going to put it in a little plastic tub. But Brandon, while we're driving there, so you've watched the ball python care guide, the most recent one,
yep.
And you've been watching a bunch of videos lately,
yep.
Since you knew that you were getting a snake. And also last night we went to dinner, and we didn't record it, but we talked a lot about stuff, yep. Questions. Are there any other questions that you have, or anything else that you want to cover right now since we have the camera on?
I think mainly, especially getting a snake for the first time, since she just got here yesterday, feeding schedule early on would be good to cover.
Yeah. So first of all, she last ate a week and a half ago.
Okay.
She eats weekly. I feed her weekly, but it's always good to give them a break. And she's been eating really well, and she has more than doubled in size since she hatched. So she's totally okay to take a week off. Oh, the point is that right now we got the heat going in the cage.
Yep.
we figured out that it's perfect 80 degrees on the cool side, and that's where we placed her, because we don't want her on the warm side where if she decided that she was too warm, she can't get away from that. So she's happy at 80 degrees. That's where she's sitting. And this was my point. She's not digesting anything. So she doesn't need the extra heat to digest. And so back to feeding, weekly-ish, but she could go, every 7 to 10 days. 10 days is okay, 7 days is okay. It doesn't have to be exactly regimented on the same day.
So while she's still so little and getting used to a large enclosure is right now a particularly important time to have extra clutter so that she has more things.
More places to hide, yeah. That's a good point. It's definitely, because she's just going to want to hide all the time. She's a hider anyway. And so having as much clutter as possible is going to make her feel comfortable. And that's the key to, now we're just wandering because we're talking. So that's the key to making a baby snake feel comfortable in a big cage, is having tons of clutter that they can hide in. And they want that all the time, but especially if they're brand new in a big cage. She's never been in a cage like this. She's never had substrate. Everything in there is going to be brand new to her. So yes, okay. Lots of clutter. And I think we have lots of clutter to put in there. I'm cutting in really quick to say that if you're getting your snake for the first time, normally you want to set them up on paper, because snake mites are black and you'll be able to see them against the white paper. They're really hard to see on chip. This snake came from me. I know that I don't have mites in the green room. I never have, knock on wood. But when you're buying from somebody else, normally you can't be guaranteed of that. So it's always best to start them on paper. So check this out. You could go here, and then she's got it stacked. If you wanted to, we can play with it and figure it out.
Okay.
But there's a lot of configurations with the hides that you can do that'll be enrichment for just, like she's got her hides like this for a while, and then one day you decide to stack one or do whatever. That gives her totally different heights and different things to explore.
Okay.
So even just doing that, it's nice to have, even though none of these hides are ideal for her yet, it's nice to have for her to crawl in and around and over, and just, it's really good enrichment.
Okay.
So that's what the cage looks like right now, but I think we're going to go and get some other stuff for her to crawl on. But it's not looking bad. That's a lot of plants. It's great cover for her. Now it's just about me giving her some more height options.
And then when she's in there, is there a certain amount of time that I should wait to just leave her alone completely and don't take her out or anything like that?
Yeah, like a week. Typically with these snakes, you want to leave them alone a week. The rule is you put them in their new cage, you leave them alone a week, then you feed them, and you wait a couple days. If they eat, you wait a couple days for them to digest. If they don't eat, you don't handle them. So a lot of people make the mistake of they go, okay, my snake's been in there for a week. I tried to feed the snake and they didn't eat, but now I can at least handle it. So they start handling it. Well, they didn't eat because they're a little stressed and they're not used to the cage yet.
Uh-huh.
So we don't handle until the snake eats.
Okay.
What we're going to do with this snake is we're going to try to feed her before I leave. So we're going to give her a couple days in here and then offer her a meal without stressing her out with it. So we're just going to offer and see if she takes it without wagging it in her face and being crazy about it. Because I have a feeling that she'll probably take it, and that'll give her the week of getting used to her cage, and part of that week is digesting a meal.
Okay.
So we'll see if that works. Normally, you wouldn't even offer until that first week.
All right, ready?
You want to put her in there?
Yeah.
let's talk about this for a second, because you're in school.
Yep.
And you're getting a new pet.
Yep.
We're going to talk about this, by the way, while we scroll the Patreon supporters. I think they're probably scrolling over Brandon's face. These are the horde of keepers, the folks who support the channel on Patreon. I would not be doing this channel without them. And they're the best of people. They really are. You should meet them.
I should.
Anyway, so you're in school. This is your first pet since you weren't in school.
Yep.
And much easier than a dog or a cat, right? Like you're learning how to care for this animal,
Yep.
but once you know what to do, super easy, right?
Yep.
As far as care. And I've always said that I don't think people in high school should get a snake necessarily. People and also people in college a lot of times should not, because there's such a long-term commitment, and people that are in high school and college, their lives are changing and stuff like that, and and you know, a lot of times they'll get a snake and it's cool for like a year or so, and then things change and they're like, I don't know what to do with this snake, and it ends up in a rescue. However, it's important to note that you're not just in college. You're like, in a year or two, you're going to have your PhD.
Yeah.
So you're dang close to 30 years old.
Yeah.
Can't believe how old you are. And so your life is a little bit more stable than, even though you're not going to be in Cincinnati forever.
Yeah.
Take the snake. But you're in a position where you can, wherever you end up, if you go back to Seattle or whatever, you're going to take the snake with you,
Right.
and the cage and everything.
Yeah.
And so it's not a situation where you just left home and you're like in a dorm in school, right. And you know, which I don't think is ideal for a snake. Thanks again to those Patreon supporters, and thanks again to our channel sponsors, Black Box Cages, who provided this fantastic cage for Nova, Lane Labs, who provided some food for Nova. You have rat pups and weed rats from Lane Labs, so you've got food to last for a while. The Royals Project, where you can get some awesome ball pythons, and Rare Genetics RGI, who I just got some shed testing done from another clutch. We're going to talk about that later. There will be a whole video about that clutch. But anyway, thanks to those channel sponsors. We're on our way to the pet store to get more stuff, I promise. But we stopped at a distillery along the way, and we're just going to do a quick tour. I changed my clothes basically back into what I was wearing yesterday. It doesn't matter. The point is, we're at this really cool distillery, and look what they have. A little cage, bioactive, with little frogs in it. I don't even know where the frogs are at this point, but little tiny frogs in a bioactive cage at this distillery. It's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah. It's a good place. Anyway, then we're going to the pet store. Don't worry, we're still on task. Okay, so we're back, and we went to the store and got a few items. We were looking for cork bark. We went to a reptile-specific reptile-specific pet store to get cork bark. It smelled worse than any pet store I've been in. It was the ammonia smell was unbelievable. They were breeding snakes in there. They had a bunch of racks and stuff, and it wasn't really a pet store storefront. It was more like a warehouse. It was so weird. How awful was that?
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Definitely the worst pet store I've ever been in.
Yeah. And before we walked in there, I told Brandon, I said, sometimes these pet stores, if they're real dirty, I don't want to buy anything there because they could potentially have mites. And if that's the case, I'll just signal with like this, and we'll just get out of there without touching much. And did not need to signal. We went in there and looked around, and we were like, let's go now. It was bad news. So we went to a big box pet store and bought some things. A half log that's not really wood, but it's fine for enrichment, not as a hide, because they're not. And a fake plant on a thing. And then what else? Oh, you got this piece of wood, right? Yeah. So here's a piece of wood. This is a simple way to do a cage. It's just fake plants, a couple other things, whole bunch of hides, and it works really well for the snake. But, we didn't do any crazy elaborate background. We didn't do anything that took much time at all. And we've got, I think, a really great cage for a snake. We'll see how comfortable she is. She's currently choosing to sit in one of the largest hides, which is interesting. She's found a small one, she's found a medium, and now she's choosing the large hide. We're going to try to feed her tomorrow night, which is not really recommended, but we're not going to push the issue. We're just going to offer and see if she takes it. I'll keep you posted on that. In fact, if she did take it, you just saw the B-roll of it. If she didn't take it, you did not see the B-roll. So there, you've got your answer right now. Hi there. It's the next day, and we've just got the heating figured out. And this is why, it's best to set up your cage before you get your snake. In this case, we didn't have this luxury. The snake came in and the cage was here, and we did it all at the same time. And the problem is that we had her, when I set up my cages, I put a thin layer of substrate down, and I usually don't even have substrate in the hides. And one of the reasons for that is that I like to see when they pee or poop in their hide, which they usually do it in the hide, and I can just lift it up and see it right there when there's no substrate in there. So that's how I set it up here. But it's a little too cold in this room, and it was making it so that, on top of the hide, it would be well over 90 degrees. And then down on the floor, under the hide, it would be like 80 or 81 or something like that on the warm side. So what we did is we took that entire block of cocoa husk and filled it here. So it raised everything up a little bit, and it put a buffer between the cold floor of the cage and where the snake sits. So now it's reading really nicely. It's like 82 over here on the cold side, and it was like when I last checked, 92 over here on the warm side. So I was able to turn the heat down a little bit, and it's going to be just fine. We'll have perfect temps. So sometimes there's stuff that you have to do, not just adjusting your thermostat up and down. Sometimes there's stuff that you have to do within the cage to make it work right. That's it. I think we're done here.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Let's go to another distillery.
Yeah, let's do it.